All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to review again the CapX program and why we created it. The CapX program is our cooperative marketing, our crowd marketing advertising platform, meaning the company and the field, we get together and we do mass media advertising, mass digital advertising across many different types of media. So, radio, internet, billboards, celebrities, endorsements, and then TV eventually to acquire customers. And the reason we want to do that is we want to help build brand awareness, brand loyalty, customer retention, and we want to build a reliable, scalable customer base that will continue to purchase our products after acquisition. And then we want to share uh, the benefits of those repurchases. We want to share in the lifetime value of that customer's economic value on that. Okay. So we're going to spend all the money in marketing and we're going to acquire the customers. When those customers repurchase, that money goes into a pool and it's shared with the field of those people that are participating in the marketing costs. Okay. So the token price that everyone pays into on a month-to-month basis is a proportional representation of the marketing cost that it took to acquire the customers. Sometimes it's $15, sometimes it'll be $20. It'll always fluctuate. It'll fluctuate because the cost of media changes and it changes day to day. And also the efficiency of the media will change on a day-to-day basis, right? So it's always fluctuating, and we don't know what the real cost of the token is going to be till the end of the month, right? So this is why we have to do the calculations. We have to see how many customers were acquired. We have to see the revenue that was generated, and then we apply it. So that's the overall scheme in terms of why do we want to do it this way? Because customers are the most reliable form of revenue in any business. They're actually the lifeblood of any business, right? So our goal over the next 5 years is to acquire 5 million customers in our customer base that we're going to share. Because what will happen at that point is we'll become this unstoppable economic engine that is a household brand that everybody knows. Your jobs become 10 times easier in building your team. Your jobs become 10 times easier when selling the product. And this is the same strategy that's used by Fortune 500 companies, right? So for a long time, mass media advertising was only possible by companies that had massive advertising budgets like McDonald's and Coca-Cola and the cereal brands and you name it, right? So why does McDonald's and Coca-Cola advertise? Right? Everybody knows McDonald's and Coca-Cola. The reason McDonald's and Coca-Cola advertise is not just new customers. It's also to retain their market share of the customers that they already have, right? So when people see an advertisement of a product or service they're using or have used in the past, it reaffirms the reasons why they initially bought it. So customer retention retains higher and higher and higher and higher, right? This is one of the big missing pieces in network marketing and in MLM is where there is other validation of our customers' buying decisions, right? So even if your customer is already buying from you, it's fantastic. That's never going to change. When they see the advertisements and when they see the mass media, they're going to say, oh, you know what? I use that product. It's going to remind them why they like the product, why they use the product, and their retention of buying it again is going to be much higher. That's a tested business strategy and marketing strategy that works for the largest brands in the world. So that's why we want to do this, right? So how does this work in nuts and bolts? The company advertises mass media. We direct traffic to call centers and digital shopping carts, right? So we put the money in, many hundreds of thousands of dollars. The initial customers will either call the call center or go on the landing pages. We convert them. The company pays up front for all the media, the cost of the goods, the call centers, the credit cards, the shipping, the returns. We pay for everything up front in this acquisition cost. Why? Because we don't know how much it's going to cost, right? So we have to invest the money up front. The company risks all that money up front, right? Because we have more resources than any individual distributor, right? So we just apply the resources to help everybody grow. But there's But there's a catch there. The catch is that we have to come together in the next stage so we can do it again and again and again. The reason that is initial acquisition is so expensive. Why is initial acquisition expensive? Because the cost of media is so high, right? And people are inundated with so much messaging online that we have to cut through all the clutter and all the noise to get their attention and then get the conversion. That's why network marketing is so powerful, right? When we have the word of mouth, it's always easier to make the recommendation and get that customer. But to get overall national, international exposure, we have to leverage mass media. And then when those customers come into our pool, we're going to share it. Okay, so there are some terms that we need to come to grips with in terms of how this program works and how the CapEx token price comes to base. So first is revenue per customer, right? So when we're acquiring customers, those customers are going to pay something to join us, right? So the revenue per customer is the total customer revenue from the initial customer purchases divided by the number of orders, right? So we spend some money on media, right? And say we get $12,000 in orders and there's 200 orders. That means the revenue per customer is $60. Okay, it's pretty simple math. So we spent XYZ on media. We got $12,000 in sales, 200 orders per customer, it's $60. The cost per acquisition, the CPA, is the total number of sales. Sorry, is the total cost of sales, how much it costs to get those sales, divided by the number of orders. Now, the total cost of sales, suppose it's media costs plus the cost of goods, the call center, credit card, shipping, returns, everything. Suppose it's $17,000. Then the CPA, the cost per acquisition, is the total cost of sales of $17,000 divided by the number of orders, which is 200. So their cost of acquisition is actually $85. So although we earned $60 a customer, it actually costs us $85 to get that customer. Why? Media is expensive. That's the reality of it, right? So then how do we get to the token price? The token price is the revenue of the customer, the $60, minus the cost of acquisition, right? $85. So the token price is $25. This is the amount of money the company lost on acquiring one customer. So total number of tokens available is 200 because that's how many customers we got, right, in the acquisition process. That's how we get to the token price. The token price will change month to month depending on the cost of the revenue, how much revenue, cost of acquisition, how much revenue we got, how much it costs us to get it, and how many orders we got, right? That's how we get that number. Okay, these are very important numbers. So the most important numbers here are token price, right? And how many tokens we got, right? Because those numbers are going to play into the role of how many tokens are available and how much we can scale the program. So how does this work? So number one, right up here, Super Patch Company invests in media, radio, TV, digital, billboard, print, and we acquire some customers that go into a pool. The token is a proportional share of the marketing cost of acquisition. The funds from the tokens are put back into the media spend, and the advertising continues as the media budget is replenished. So imagine, so here's an example. And then those customers in the pool, we market to them via email. We do email campaigns. We do drip campaigns to make sure they love the product. We do feedback loops. We can do so many different things with them to make sure that they purchase again and again and again. And that those repurchases are what generates the profitability in the field commission. So for example, if the tokens are $25 and the field takes all the 200 tokens, that replenishes the 5,000 that was a shortfall in our example. Because if you remember, we had $12,000 in revenue. We take away the $17,000 that actually cost us to get those customers. We had a shortfall of $5,000. The token price's sole purpose is to replenish that $5,000. That way we can take all that money, put it right back into the marketing and advertising, and get more customers, right? That's how this program works. All the customers sit in a pool because everybody's paying the same price for the token. Everybody gets the same amount per token in terms of value per token when the customers rebuy, right? Because the reality is this, we know that not every customer is going to buy every month. It's going to be anywhere between 1% and 99% of the total customers on a go-forward basis will buy again the next month, right? It'll never be zero. It could be, but I don't think it'll ever be. It could be 100, but I don't think it'll ever be 100%. I think it's so that the answer is between 1 and 99% of the customer pool will buy every month. That revenue, that repurchase revenue is what we share with the field, right? We say, hey, we acquired the customers, here's the lifetime value from the repurchases, and we put that money back into the field. And those are the numbers that I showed you of the volume that hits your organization and it hits your commission lines. So field commissions, illustration purposes only. So the CapEx pool is a total pool of customers. We market to them digitally, again, once they've been acquired, and that generates the revenue that generates the field commissions. So every CapEx tokens gives the token holder a share of future reorder revenue from the initial customers acquired. All future monthly reorder revenue from CapEx acquisition customers put in a monthly pool. I said all of that goes into one pool. The pool of monthly reorder revenue is shared with all the token holders. So if you have a token, you're entitled to a portion of that reorder purchase. The monthly revenue share per token and other values will be calculated on a month-to-month basis, as we did at the end of August. Right? So the token revenue per token, so the monthly revenue per token, so the token value that you're going to get paid on depends on the reorder revenue divided by the total number of tokens held by the field, right? So that's why that value every month is going to be different. Some months, last month it was $9.75. Next month it could be $10.75, or it could be $8.75. We don't know until at the end of the month that pool has bought again, so we know what that total revenue number is that we're going to share back into the field and the pool. So they'll have those values: the monthly revenue per token, TV, total number reorder revenue divided by the number of tokens held, the retail commission. This was the 9. So, the retail commission is 25% of the token value, right? So whatever the token value is $10, for example. Per token, you get 25% of that $10. So you get $2.50, for example, if that's what the token value was, right? So that was the number you saw at the bottom of the previous screen. Then there's the TBV, which is 60% of the token volume. Just like everything else, all the products that get sold through our company, these monies are directly related to customer sales, customer reorders, right? So we want to build a large base of customers, right? And we want to have a large number of people in an organization participating in this, right? So if you have one token, you get the value of one token, right? So if you don't have anybody in your organization at this point and you only have tokens for yourself, you're going to get the payout based on one token. So if that's it, so it's like, you sell a pair of socks, sorry, a pair of patches, you're going to get 25% of that $60 value, you get $15. But if the token value is $10, then you get 25% of that one token, which is $2.50. So what you want to do is you want to have as many possible tokens in your organization over time. Over time, as your team keeps accumulating tokens and you keep accumulating tokens, it's going to be a larger piece of the pie. So this isn't a 1 month strategy, because we're not doing it for 1 month. We're doing this for years and years and years. So as you saw in the example that I showed you, when somebody has a large number of tokens and that token value gets applied to every token in their group, all of that volume gets paid commission on, right? And that's how we win. So the more tokens on a member's team, the greater the TBV that will count toward payout. That's an absolute phenomenal way to build volume and to build commissions, right? Based on what? So that money that gets earned on the CapEx program is earned from what? It's earned from doing some marketing. So the field is paying for some of the marketing costs, and we're sharing the revenue every month on those customers. You don't need to call anybody. You don't need to email anybody. You don't need to get any referrals, nothing. We do everything, right? We share the cost of acquisition and we share the future revenue. But this builds month in, month out, month in, month out, right? So for example, the total tokens held by the field is 10,000, right? And the monthly reorder revenue is 120,000. In this example, that means 20% of the customers bought again, and the token value would be $12, right? The retail commission would be $3 per token. The token bonus volume would be $7.20. These are the values that are applied to every token in the company. And the comp plan treats it just like all the other volumes in our business. So that's why you have all those different lines in the bonus breakout summary that tells you how much the tokens in your organization paid you at every level, right? It'll depend on the size and structure of your team, the rank, the number of tokens accumulated and held by you personally and by the team. This program over the long run, not in the first month, not in the second month, not in the third month, but as we keep acquiring more and more customers, and you in your organization start accumulating more and more tokens, that volume you're going to get is going to build and build and build and build. So what is the key to winning here? It never changed. Build your team. It's still network marketing. Build your team, rank up, get the volume, get on the CapX program, and start realizing exponential volume improvements and extra money like never before. We do this so we have a stable economic business, right? So the volume examples that I showed you before, that individual earned over $500 the first month on their CapEx program. $60 in marketing cost, and they earned over $500 on the CapEx program in the first month. Why? They have a great team, they have great leadership, everybody's participating, and that's the potential for everybody. Right? I think everybody will understand when you talk to, listen, so how does this work? We share in the marketing cost and we share in the lifetime value of the customer. We get the customer and then we share the revenue every time they buy again and again and again and again for as long as they do it. Right? That's the advantage of this program. This is why this is so unique. Right? This is actually how the biggest companies in the world do it. So if you take a look at, and I'll give an example again of McDonald's. Every McDonald's franchise owner pays into the marketing cost that McDonald's does, right? We all know this. They have a marketing component that they pay. They have a franchise fee and they have a marketing fee that they pay into. And they get the advantage of that, right? So the billboards, the TV commercials. So I think we've all been on the highway. We see a McDonald's sign and 2-3 miles later, there's a McDonald's on the off-ramp, right? That's marketing. And I think many of us have gotten off on that off-ramp to get our fries or get a shake. That's how marketing works, right? So when people see our brand, they see our products over and over and over and over again, your team's stickiness is going to improve. Your customers' reorder values are going to improve, not just the CapEx customers, but your own customers and your own team. That cohesion builds and builds and builds and builds. And we can scale this at a level never before seen in network marketing, right? The reason this has never been done in network marketing before is because there's a lot of product challenges out there, right? Products are overpriced, there's a lot of competition, and the reorder values are not there. Our company, our products are actually designed for the end user in mind. That's why the product's $60. It's not $100 or $125. If our product was $125 per month, this wouldn't work, right? Because the end user value is too expensive, I'm not going to buy it. The fact that the product is super affordable and available to so many different people, that's what makes it so successful and so fantastic, right? So that's how the program works. I'm going to stop sharing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's very important that we understand that this is not a 1-month play, but you also have to understand when you take a look at your bonus summary of where it paid you. I think some people are only looking at one line, right? We want to understand our comp breakdown of where we're getting paid and how this program pays. Jonathan, any questions to you, sir?
Absolutely. So I've actually made some notes and wrote down a lot of questions that came to myself before we were going to do this Zoom as well as during the Zoom. And so I think breaking it down, right, in simple terms, straight to the point. So I'm going to share this with you and you say yes, or you say no, you're an idiot. That's not what I'm saying. So breaking it down in simple terms for people to understand. So the first question was, how does this help the little guys, the people who don't have a team? Well, number one is if you came in and you don't have a team and you spent $60 and you bought 4 tokens, right? It's another way to compound effect, add another stream of income over time. And as you add more team members and they choose to take part in the CapX program, it's only going to compound. As you rank advance, you also will be paid out more because volume is reflective to ranks, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
So let me add to that. When you say the little guy, that's all relative. Okay. There's there's always day one, right? There's always, once upon a time, somebody has to be the first one. When you join this business, day one, that's the first day. That's when you decide what kind of business you want to build. I'm giving you straight talk here, right? This is a program that over the long run, if you're not going to build and you don't believe in, then the CapEx program isn't for you anyways. This, I'm telling you right now, if somebody does not want to build a business, then don't do the CapEx program because it doesn't make any sense. Right? But if you want to build, the CapEx program is the greatest accelerator that could be for your business for recruiting people, because people will understand what this is. We're all going to pool our resources together and buy marketing to get customers. If we can't sell that notion to people out there who don't like network marketing, then we're not going to be able to build this. I mean, we all have, I know for a fact that this is what's happening and people are growing and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But this comes back to a personal belief system, right?
okay.
This is why this is optional. This is not mandatory. This is optional, right? And we make it a part of our network marketing program because that's the big three legs of our. So network marketing is three legs of income, ladies and gentlemen, right? Has three legs. Has when people enroll at sign up, right? So you got pack revenue, auto ship revenue, and reorder revenue, right? That's three legs. What's been missing all the time from network marketing is customer revenue, reliable, scalable customer revenue, not attached to MLM. That's what the industry wants, right? It's like, hey, you have millions of people that love your product, right? So now, when do you start? When do you start? The sooner you start, the more you're going to win. Your individual tokens will pay you a retail profit every month, right? So think of it this way. When you buy a pack of patches for $45 and you sell them for $60, did you make $45 or did you make $15? Right? You made $15. That's like saying, well, I put $60 in marketing, I didn't get $60 in returns. This is why we have a CapEx program, because there's no way to get back all of that revenue in the first time. There's no company in the world does it, right? So this is a personal belief system. If you believe that you're going to market this and you're going to build this and you're going to have a great team, then do it, right? Your tokens accumulate month to month, month to month, month to month, month to month. So you got 4 tokens, you're going to get paid on those. Next month you got 4 more, you're going to get paid on those. Next month you got 4 more, it's going to add up, right? This is why they add up. And at the end of 18 months, they start. So the token has an 18-month value, right? Why? Because every customer has a lifetime value on it. There is no point keeping customers or tokens in the system that aren't buying again. All it does is bring down the token value per every token, right? So we want to make sure the tokens pay out as much money as possible, right? So if I were to do it, but I know the system, so I know how this works, right? I would accumulate as many as I could and show other people saying, hey, I participated in the marketing program. This is how many tokens I have that go, right? And then they accumulate. So if you got 4, you got 4 more, now you got 8. And you got another 4, and you got another 4, and another 4, and they're going to accumulate for 18 months. At the 18 months, the first 4 are going to expire, but you're going to get 4 more, right? And not every, and I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, right now, not every month are we going to have 4 available for everyone. Because I got to meet the demand too, right? So it's not, some months they're not going to be 2 available. Some months there might only be 1 available, right? So this is not a linear thing. This is a long-term progressive thing where we're going to build the largest base of customers that we want. So I'll give you this. So I'll give you this example. We're going to keep going. We're going to go get a million. We're going to go get a million customers. Okay. You have to decide if you want a piece of those million customers when they buy again and again and again. And the only way you're going to get a piece of those million customers is by participating in the CapX program. That's it. Right? Those customers are going to stay customers. We're not promoting them to become associates. That's your job. That's not the CapX program. Right? When I go buy my fries and my milkshake from McDonald's, no one chases me into the parking lot trying to sell me a McDonald's franchise. Doesn't happen. Okay? When I buy my Starbucks, no one says, hey, you want a Starbucks franchise? No. We want to keep this a very straight customer revenue line. You're doing the network marketing line. You keep doing that. That doesn't change. Right? This is what this is supposed to do. This is what it's for. It's not to build your network marketing. This is to add to your network marketing. This is added to, additional, more than, right?
And I think that's why it's so
it's an and statement. It's network marketing and CapEx. It's not network marketing or CapEx, right? No, it's network marketing. We're doing everything great. We're kicking butt, fastest growing company. It's record-breaking stuff. And now we have more. Right? And so, but marketing doesn't stop. So marketing keeps going. So to participate, so you have your 4 tokens, and next month you don't buy any more tokens, you don't get paid that month. When you participate in the CapEx program in the marketing, you get paid on your tokens, how many ever tokens you have. Right? Because the token is a marketing cost. That marketing's already been spent. It's gone. To keep the program going, we got to keep the marketing going. Right? So you got 4 tokens, you got 8 tokens, you got 12 tokens, and the next month you go, okay, you can't buy them. Okay, that month you don't buy any more tokens, no problem. You still got your tokens from before. That month you don't get any more, but you're also not going to get paid. Come back the next month, you want to get your tokens again? Boom, we start off right where we left off. You get paid on all your tokens. Right? This is a marketing share and revenue share program. Sharing the marketing, sharing the revenue. Completely voluntary, right? You can do it, not do it. No one's holding a gun to your head. Right? We've got people wanting to give us millions and millions of dollars to say, you know what, Jay? We'll pay for the first 500,000 customers ourselves. I'm like, no. I have a team. I have a field. We have a big, wide field that wants to build this for the long term. You have something so powerful in our hands. Right? So if you're on SmartShip and you purchase tokens, you get paid on all the tokens that you have. If you don't purchase tokens, if you don't participate in the CapEx program that month, you don't get paid on the tokens. The next month, if you participate in the CapEx program again, you get paid again. It's like a Netflix. You pay your monthly subscription, you get to watch all the movies. You don't pay your monthly subscription on your CapEx program, you don't get paid. Right? So that's how that works. Right? No, Nicole, no, your math is wrong. That's not how that works. You don't get paid per token. You get paid retail commission on the token. So think of the token value as a pack of patches. So a pack of patches is $60. The token price was $9.75 last month. Right? If you sold something for $9.75, you'd get 25% of the $9.75 per token. Okay? The token price is calculated every month is the retail value we're assigning to that token. So a pack of patches retail value is $60. The token value we assign at the end of the month is going to be like the $60. So last month it was $9.75. So when you have a token, you get paid 25% of that token value per token. So the token value is $10. You'd get 25% of the $10 per token. So if you had 4 tokens, it's $2.50 each token, you'd get $10. And the next month, if you didn't, you'd get the same plus the extra tokens, and then the same the next month, and the same the next month. But where you win it, beyond that is when there's all the other tokens in your organization, they get the same volume, right? That's how you do it. Okay, so that's how that works. Jonathan,
Perfect.
next question.
Yes, sir. So, and another confusing part is, and I've tried to explain it, but of course, just you reiterating, we are not able to pay out commissions in the back office from a back office business standpoint without actual volume reflecting that month. So the volume
But you can
from
see
the
it.
tokens,
So Jonathan, if everybody goes to their back office,
GV.
if you go in your back office and you go to August volume numbers, you're going to see volume with tokens and volume without tokens.
So there is now a report that is reflective, and I know that
It's the same dashboard as before, right?
Yes, sir.
When we updated the new comp thing, it deleted that line. So if you go back there, now you're going to see volume with tokens and volume without tokens, with tokens and without tokens, right? So the total volume is what gets applied to all your rank qualifications.
Yes, sir. So for instance, just to kind of break it down, and I don't mind sharing this because you and I discussed this yesterday, but just for reference terms, my volume that was reflective from the tokens from our entire organization was something over like 5,000 in volume that was reflective for my organization. So not only do we have the payout from the CapX program, but we also have volume that is reflective for you to be able to rank advance for you and for your organization in your back office as well, which is
every
unheard of.
token. So that $9.75 that we applied to the token, that's actual volume that gets put into your organization per token in your organization. And you see it in the breakdown at the back, right? If you go to that dashboard, you're going to see your volume without the tokens, TGQV, and then volume with the tokens, right? And that total number is what gets applied to your rank advancements. And that's the extra volume that accounts for the token payouts on your comp plan.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And all the other questions that I have written down, you've already addressed them. And a lot of the same questions that I had written down were actually popping up in the chat, talking about it, compounding month after month.
Yeah,
You know,
it grows. Because ladies and gentlemen, this is what you have to understand. There is no product in the world that has 100% repurchase rate month after month, unless they're on a subscription program, even those that die. Okay? In the perfect world, every customer would buy every month. We're not there yet. Is that going to grow? Yeah, that's going to grow. Our goal eventually is to get our acquisition customers on subscription. But getting somebody on subscription right out of the gate, out of acquisition, is next to impossible. You have to give away the product. You got to do all these things. So the program and the marketing is going to evolve over time. We just started. Right? And so we have to build this over time, and so over time, and so over time. So how do you do it? You got to get started. So how do you get qualified to buy tokens? Number one, tokens go on sale on the 15th or the 16th of the month. Why? We have to do all the accounting from the month before. We have to close the month out. We have to pay the commissions on everything gets done. Okay? We have to see how many tokens are available. We have to calculate the cost of the token. But to be qualified to buy a token, the previous month you must have received your smart chip. Right? And you got to be in the program. You got to be in the smart chip program to be eligible to buy. You must have received your smart chip the previous month. If you're in this month and you don't have a smart chip scheduled, you didn't get a smart chip last month, then you're not going to be qualified this month. So you got to get your smart chip on the program, get it delivered. So what you want to do is this month, if you're not on smart chip already to be delivered this month, you want to go in there and you want to purchase your smart chip for delivery this month. It'll get it and you qualify and then you're good to go. You want to do that before the 15th or before you're going to buy, because the tokens will be available till they're sold out. Right? Because if they're gone, then I can't help you, right? So this is why we want to manage how many tokens are available at any point in time, because we know how many people are qualified, right, Jonathan? So who is qualified? The people that were on SmartShip the previous month, that received their SmartShip the previous month. We know how much tokens we have to make available, right? So it's two SmartShips minimum, right? So we know how many tokens we have to make available to supply the demand, right? So right now, it was 4. This month, I'm pretty sure we could deliver on 4 each, but it might come to a point where everybody's qualified. Now it might go down to only 2 tokens per person or 1 token per person, right? Because we want to keep the playing field as even as possible, right? That's what we want to do.
And it's genius to have people qualified on SmartShip to be able to purchase.
Listen, we are
that's
a
the only way
network marketing company, dude. We are an MLM company.
Yeah.
CapX is MLM plus CapX. It's plus,
Right.
it's additional, it's above and beyond, right? And the other advantages of SmartShip are just unbelievable, because then you get all the SmartShip revenue too. You get all that commission as well. And then when you and 3 of your peeps on your front line are in SmartShip for $90, you get 2 free packs the next month. Hello? Hello, right? So it pays so much to be on SmartShip. Not only do you have product to use, product to market, right? Because your team's going to do what you do. This is a monkey see, monkey do business. I can't, with any good credibility, be a leader and not be in SmartShip and say, my team, oh, you guys get on for SmartShip. How's that going to work? Right? Monkey see, monkey do, right? We use it, we demo it, we market. And then when I'm on SmartShip and any 3 people on my front line, my distributors are on SmartShip, the next month I get my choice of 2 free 28 packs that I can use for marketing, I can use for giveaways, I can do whatever I want with it. $120 retail value for free. Thanks very much. And then I'm also qualified to be in the CapX program, right? So it's so important that we understand this is a very collaborative program, right? And so people say, well, I don't have anybody in my organization, but you will. So whether you participate in the CapX program or not, the entire comp plan is so rewarding for you to build your team, right? And you have great leadership on this organization where you can reach up and get the guidance and the tutoring and the coaching and the mentoring to help you thrive. Jonathan, any other questions?
That's it, buddy. I think you covered everything. Obviously, this recording will be available to all of you to share with your downlines. I know there's going to be continued questions. Myself, Ricky, Leslie, Amanda, others on your team, reach out to them to help solidify those questions and answer questions. Jay, as always, Saturday evening, 7:49 p.m. in Toronto, and you're on a Zoom for our team. We can't thank you enough.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Listen, it's when we try to answer questions when we don't understand ourselves and we maximize the confusion. We don't want confusion, right? We want everybody to make a decision with the clearest understanding that they have. Right? And that's why we want to do it this way, right? This is why I said, hey, you have questions? No problem. When we chatted the other day, I was out of the country and I said, no problem. Book a call. Come on, we'll walk everybody through it, right? And listen, ladies and gentlemen, the reason it's so simple for me is because I built the dang program. Right? So I understand everything. And for you guys who are not used to it, ladies and gentlemen, I understand, right? So I don't take any offense to it. What we want to avoid, and this is a leadership thing, okay? And I want everybody to pay attention to me. If we do not know, we don't guess. Does that make sense? If we don't know, we don't guess. You reach out to Jonathan, Jonathan will get you the right answer. Reach out to your leaders team, will get you the right answer. Okay? We don't do things shortcut wise. We don't do things half-assed, excuse my language. We don't do those things, right? This is designed for the long, everything that I do is designed for the long run. 5 generations. I'm not doing anything else. I'm 54 years old. Until the day I meet my maker, I'm doing this. This. With all of you. Okay? And some things we're going to do are going to work, and other things we do are not going to work. And then we're going to say, we're not going to do that. And then we're going to do something else. Okay? But we're going to do it together. We're going to do it together. That's how we do it, right? We don't, because we have to be bold. We have to do things that have never been done before. And that's how we win. That's how we change the world. That's it. Listen, you count on me, I count on you. We're together. Everyone, I don't have words sometimes, I get all teared up. You have no idea the gratitude I have for all of you. For your commitment, for your trust, for everything that you do. God bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you on the calls real soon. Talk soon, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you, brother.
Thanks, man.